What is going on, everyone? It's Horror Master, and I'm back. Yes, I know I've been gone for a while because of work and all that, but it's good to be back on YouTube. I've been doing a lot of stuff because of work and all that. I've been going to some shows, and along that, I've been getting a lot more CDs to the collection. So this is another CD update plus some other stuff that I want to talk about of my experience in seeing Behemoth, Arch Enemy, Napalm Death, and two others in San Antonio. I'm recording this the day after, so today is Tuesday. So when I saw him on Monday on February 18, which we'll get to that, but I just want to give you guys an update on the CDs that I have that have gone since the last update. Sorry, my voice still sounds a bit more not as my voice because I'm still recovering from the show because it was an amazing show, which we'll talk about in a bit. But I just wanted to show you guys the stuff that I got, not only in my CD collections and from the first video, from the previous video to now, but also the stuff that I actually got while I was in that concert, which was one hell of a concert. So, which if you're around the area, if Behemoth is coming near a town near you with Arch Enemy, Napalm, and onto others, I seriously recommend y'all to please go to that concert. You will not be disappointed. But enough talking. Let's get into the collection that I have for you at the moment. So this time I didn't have a lot of CDs as my previous. Well, actually a bit more because the previous update was just the CD shelf and some CDs that I got. This one I did get a good chunk, not a lot. I mean, this is just the CDs parts, the one that I got at the show yesterday. But I just want to go briefly through the cities that I got so that we can talk about, my experience in seeing, like I said, became an arch enemy when Napalm Death made on to others. So the first city that we have here is, of course, Allison Chains, Dirt. Of course, if we want to talk about grunge next to something like Nirvana's Nevermind, this one's up there next to it. But not only that, but Allison Chains out of the big four of the grunge, being Nirvana, Allison Chains, Napalm, not Napalm Death. Sorry, it's that Napalm Death stuck in the head. Pearl Jam and Soundgarden. Alice in Chains was probably the heaviest one of the all four of them, probably the most metal. We have songs like Them Bones, Down on the Hole, which is probably my favorite track of the album. Wood, I mean, Anger Chain, the title track, Rooster. I mean, if you want something that's a bit sludgy, doomy, but to have that kind of grunge, 90s vibe to it, this is an album for y'all to check out. And again, it's Alice in Chains. I mean, there's no bad Alice in Chains. Even the new Alice in Chains albums are fucking good. So again, this is probably their best album, in my opinion. Next up, we have, of course, a very, very classic kind of the development of black metal and earlier black metal. Of course, I'm talking about Morbid Tales by Celtic Frost. Of course, the infamous EP that, of course, if you know the history of Celtic Frost, started as Hellhammer, but of course, Tom G. Warrior and Martin Garrick Aaron, kind of started Hellhammer, but they wanted a different sound. So they kind of, ended that project or band and then created the next day Celtic Frost. And this one we of course have Stephen Presley, which was the seasoned drummer in the album. And my God, we're talking about one of the most important albums in terms of black metal, even death metal. This is one. Technically, it's an EP because of obvious reasons, but it's still an amazing EP slash album. You have songs like Angel the Cryptid or Race, especially the intro with the screams. It seems like you're going down to hell and the voices are suffering, being tortured, being dismembered, all of that. Of course, you get into the Crypt of Rays, Morbid Tales, Dethroned Emperor, Proclamation of the Wicked, Nuclear Fear, Dance Macabre, not the Dance Macabre from Ghost, Vengeance of Morality. I mean, I could go on and on and on about Morbid Tales. I mean, to hell. Even Sam Dunn from Bangor TBS, this is probably one of his favorite black metal albums in general. Next up, we have from black metal to a bit of the alternative kind of new metal thing. Of course, I'm talking about White Pony by the Deftones. I'm not the biggest Deftones fan. I'm just gonna say it right now. There's probably one or two albums that I like, but my favorite always has to be White Pony. I mean, this is one of the most early developments of new metal, of course, when you have songs like Who the Fuck Hasn't listen to Change in the House of Flies. Of course, if you've seen the movie Queen of the Damned, that scene, I mean, that alone tells you how much impactful that song has become, not only to the band but to the movie itself. But also, you also have Digital Bath, which is another great underrated song that I don't think Deftones plays a lot anymore. Which Deftones, if you're ever anyone in Deftones, please put that song back in their set list. I think it's a really good song. But you still have songs like Teenager, Night Party, Korea, Passenger, Back to School, Mini Maggot. I mean, even though this album came out in the late 90s, early 2000s, it still pucks backs a punch. I mean, coming to the point that it has Deftones are still touring. I mean, I think they're currently on tour, so I don't think they're very near my area. I wish they were. If not, I would have gone down and see them. But I have the CD of White Pony through the meantime, which is an amazing album. Next up, actually, it's an album that actually won on my buddy Levi's, aka Thrashman X99's YouTube channel, where he's been doing the Masters of Metallum game, where he gets a whole bunch of metalheads, and we go to the Metallum page and we try to pick the bands that kind of sound to a similar band, which it's a really fun game. So if you ever want to pop into that game, just go to his channel and you'll have a blast, and the winner always gets a prize at the end of each episode. And I won I think the previous not the one that this happened, but the previous showing I won. And of course he sent me a CD out of his choosing. Of course, he since have been getting more into more demonic kind of death metal. He got me Incantation with Diabolical Conquest. This honestly being my first Incantation album in my collection, it was a good choice for Levi to actually send me this. I mean, so evil, brutal, even death dooming. Like at points, I mean, when you go to the Unto Infinite Twilight Majesty of Infernal Damnation, probably the most death doom thing in this album alone. But once you go into it, I mean, when you have United in Requiem, Shadows of the Ancient Empire, Disciples of Blasphemous, Disciple, this entire album is an album to behold. And the thing I like about this is that once you open it, you're gonna have the little faces either being tortured or suffering. I don't know what the concept with this album was, the images are, but I think it's kind of cool and kind of brutal to it. So if you never heard of Recantation, give him a listen. Probably listen to their first two albums. This one as well. I mean, it's a really good album for y'all to get into Incantation. Again, fucking amazing album. Next up, the next couple of three albums that I have, I actually got them on my local Second and Charles. Which, if you don't have if you don't know what Second and Charles is, it's kind of a place where they sell not only music but Funko Pop, books, basically a nerd's paradise, just to brief and short. And I always go there every other 2 weeks to 3 weeks to see what new they have. Of course, they have a big raw of CDs. Of course, not just only rock, but country, rap, you name it. And I always go to the shelves to see what hidden gems I can find, because I've found a lot of great albums for a decent price. So I found these three albums, and one of them was actually shocked me the most, which was a band that well, actually, it's one of my favorite Death Doom bands. Of course, I'm talking about Paradise Lost in Requiem, which this was an album that this was a time in Paradise Lost's career where, after I think Draconian Times, it kind of went more industrial, which those albums are I can live or take. But in 2007, they kind of came back to their kind of doomy roots and released this album, which I've talked to my buddy Archer from the Horseman, and he told me that this album is kind of in the middle of the discography. I mean, it's still a good album to check out. I mean, we have songs like Ashes of Derbis, The Enemy, Beneath Black Skies. I mean, those are really great killer tracks that, if you're a Paradise Lost fan, check it out. I mean, it's nothing like gothic or draconian times, or even the latest ones. But still, it's a really enjoyable album to at least catch your attention and put on. I mean, just even that album cover, I think it's fucking amazing. Next up, and I'm actually shocked. I'm quite. Some people may shock I never had any of this band before, which I'm happy at least have something of this band. Of course, I'm talking about Queen with Innuendo. Of course, Queen, one of the biggest rock bands out of England, one of the biggest rock bands in general. I mean, my God, which fucking Freddie Mercury, probably one of the, not the greatest frontman, next to somebody like Ronnie James Dio or Bruce Dickinson or even Ozzy Osbourne, just to name a few. This is probably one of the most underrated albums in Queen discography, which a lot of people really don't go deep into the albums and find some hidden gems. Of course, when you have the title track, "I Can't Live Without You," "Ride the Wild Wind," "Delilah," but to me, the show goes must go on. Probably a good way to end an album, even though this was during the time that Freddie was, kind of battling with his sickness, even though he didn't publicly, say that he was battling AIDS, you know. So, this is kind of technically Freddie's quote unquote last album, even though the one afterwards was the last album, even though only Freddie kind of sang those few things that he could sing before his death. So, kind of a hidden gem in the Queen discography, which Queen, one of those bands that I get don't have any bad albums. But again, Innuendo, a great pickup for my collection. And the last one for this whole, I mean, technically I still have three more, but those are for the review for the show that I'm talking about. But the last one that I have right now is actually a band that a lot of people actually don't expect me to like. And I do like some of their songs, but this is probably one of their best albums that they have. Of course, I'm talking about Shinedown, Live a Whisper. Now, I never got into Shinedown early in their career. I actually started getting to Shinedown when, one of their songs was in The Expendables, which was from the Sound of Madness album. And I went from there and actually went back and listened to discography to the point that I even went to see Shinedown back in 2018 in San Antonio, and they had put up a hell of a show in their Attention tour. And actually maybe a bigger fan of them that, when I saw this in Second and Charles, I was like, I need to pick this up because this to maybe The Sound of Madness, probably their two best albums in their discography. When you have songs like Fly from the Outside, No More Love, Better Vision, All I Ever Wanted, the cover for Simple Man from Leonard Skinner. But to me, the last song, 45, is probably the most impactful, powerful, emotional song in the entire album that, to me, I had to pick that album just because of that song. I mean, the entire album is great. Great album. If you never listened to the Shinedown, check this album or even the Sound of Madness album. Probably you won't be disappointed. So that does it for that halt of CDs. Now, this is where the part where I'm going to talk about my experience, seeing Behemoth with Arch Enemy, Napalm, and onto others. So the show was in San Antonio at the Aztec Theatre, and I left, my hometown of Laredo, Texas, around, I want to say 12 in the afternoon. Of course, I went with my family. Of course, I didn't go to the concert, even though I wish I could have gone to it, but no, they just drove me and they would have let me at the venue. So we left town around maybe 12 in the afternoon, and as we're going through the highway, to Highway 59, there was a lot of, that was a lot of construction that actually gave us a detour that actually made us go to the other side, to go a U-turn to actually get back into the road to San Antonio, which that was like a 30-minute delay. But nevertheless, we go back to our regular route. We stop there. We stop a few some other places along the way to get gas, get some food, and all that. And we made it to San Antonio maybe around, I want to say around maybe 3:30ish around there, 3:30ish around there. We went to San Antonio, And of course, I told my dad take me to the venue right away because I know there's gonna be people already in line because I wanted to be front row, in there to actually see the bands live. And which my ticket was general admission, which was like maybe $40, which 40 bucks general admission to see four amazing bands. I think that was worth it. So I go there. We take me to the venue to the Aztec Theatre downtown San Antonio in St. Mary's Street, and there were some people already there. So I told my two parents, drop me here, and I'll call you on when the show is finished. So they dropped me there. I was just there getting in line, talking to people, trying to make connections and all that. And then this lady comes in and start talking to of course, the people online that if any of us would like to purchase a VIP early access entry to the show, which costs around $20. That way you'll be able to get in a bit earlier into the venue. And a lot of people weren't actually buying that deal, which I bought it before when I saw Marilyn Manson and Cradle in that same venue, which for me $20, 20 actually no, I'm lying. It wasn't $20, it was $40, which it was a bit pricey, but $40 to actually a bit more to see them a bit kind of a bit earlier. Not earlier, but I had a better chance to actually be front row. I took the shot and I bought one of those VIP passes, and I did that, and of course I went around there. And then of course around 5:30 is when they opened the doors for everybody. Of course by that time I was already had my spot, which if you follow me on my Instagram, you can see some of the photos that I took and some videos that I took, just so you can see an overall of my experience there. And I got there. The show started around 6:02, around 6, almost 6:30. Went on to Others, which was the opening band, and first time seeing them, I thought it was an amazing band. I mean, just I want to clarify, this was the first time I actually seen any of these bands. So I was going in there blind, quote unquote, because I knew their music, but I never see them perform. So Unto Others goes up on stage, and it was an amazing show. A bit of a Sisters of Mercy kind of gothic vibe to it, if you like that kind of stuff. They packed a punch, which that band it's an upcoming band, so please give them guys a listen. And I was able to snatch one of their CDs, which was of course the latest one, which is Strength, which I took a listen to it when I got actually earlier in the day today, and it's a really 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 good album. Again, really really good album. So after they do their set list, of course, they began to put the stage for Napalm Death. And I was so hyped about Napalm Death because it's fucking Napalm Death. Of course, they all come in and then they just right away, boom, 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 head after head after head after head, hit. I mean, Barney is one of those crazy motherfuckers that, he was the demon fucking possessed. I mean, if any of y'all seen Barney live, he is a beast in stage. And I was shocked about the energy that he gave. I mean, he was going crazy round and round, screaming like the hardest. I mean, and Sean was there, the bassist, and I was just jamming next to which I was close to Sean. I mean, my God, I mean, if I didn't have a lot of respect for Napalm Death, they gave more of my respect because, my God, they gave an amazing show. To the point that once the Napalm show ended, Sean was throwing picks, and I was lucky to get one of his picks. So I don't know if the camera does it justice. I'm going to see if it gets it there, Napalm Death. And there in the back, which I am so shocked I was able to get one of his picks because, again, it's so awesome to get those guitar picks and have them as a collection to see, hey, I got this at this show, which was fucking amazing. So Napalm Death does their stage, and of course they're getting ready for the Behemoth show, which I honestly thought Behemoth was going to close, but it turns out that they're doing kind of a back and forth between Behemoth and Arch Enemy. Behemoth closes one day, Arch Enemy closes the other day. So while they're doing that, I'm trying to go to the, to their merch and see what I can buy from Napalm Death. And of course, I get their latest album, which was the one that came out in 2020, which is, of course, throws up joy in the jaws of defection, which it's a really really good album. Not only that, but I got a sticker, an Napalm Death sticker, which I already put on my CD shelf, which is right over there. I know you all can't see it because of the camera, but it's right there. So I did that, put it right already on my CD shelf. And of course, while they're doing that, Behemoth getting their stage. And the reason that I wanted to go to that show because of Behemoth. I mean, I wanted to see Behemoth for such a long time. You guys have no idea. Behemoth is probably one of my favorite bands. Maybe top 25 bands in general, which I was hyped about it. And once they, the first song, Ora por Nombres Lucifer, hit, I lost it. I mean, like I said, go to my Instagram. I have some videos there, some pictures about the show. And of course, they sang Barsaber, which is another one of my favorite tracks. Wolves of Siberia, Conquer All, you name it. But to me, the ending song, Oh Father, Oh Satan, Oh Son, I felt that I just, I was in a moment in time that I will forever, ever, ever treasure in my heart, because that song is my favorite Behemoth song of all time. And I never thought in a million years I would experience that song live and singing along to the entire song, the chant, everything about a Behemoth gave so much energy. I mean, I was literally almost close to Nurgle. Almost this close to Nurgle that, I was like, you know what? I saw Behemoth. I can at least say I saw Behemoth once. If that's the only time I get to see it, I'll be, completed. Which, if Behemoth tours again back in the San Antonio area, I will definitely go again. Which, well, that was an amazing show. I mean, Behemoth to me stole the show. They stole the show. Once they did that, I went into their booth, and of course I got a Behemoth patch, which I will proudly put on my vest whenever I had the time to. And then of course they're doing that, they're getting ready for the Arch Enemy set, which when Arch Enemy was beginning to their set, a lot of people actually left the venue, which, it kind of sucks that, a lot of people left the venue early, which, you're paying your hurt on, you're paying your hurt on cash, you can do whatever you want with it, but to me, if you're paying a show to see all the bands, you gotta see them, even if they're the worst of the worst to me. But I understand that mentality. But since me being the first time seeing Arch Enemy, of course I stayed because, I had to see them live. Maybe because I'm going to say right now, I'm not the biggest Arch Enemy fan. And I was like, you know what, maybe live is a different experience. And oh boy, it was a different experience. Once the first song hit, I was mind blown. I mean, seeing Alisa scream her gods. I mean, she screamed like a fucking banshee, and I was like, oh my god, she's fucking amazing. And I was mind blown that I headbanged to every single song. I sang along to every single song. Even the new song that they premiered, which I forgot to mention, Behemoth played a new song for their upcoming album, which should come out sometime later this year, which I'm totally hyped about it, which whenever that happens, I'll be definitely pre-ordering that Behemoth album. And, I was so amazing. It was an amazing show. And next to me, maybe like two people to my left, there was this 17-year-old girl with her father, and she just had this expression of, oh my god, I'm seeing Arch Enemy, which I could see that kind of glow to her. I mean, we all remember the first time we went to our first concert, or, saw one of our favorite bands. I mean, that you're just like in awe. So they do a lot of songs, and of course the show ends, and of course I was literally next to freaking Michael Amott, Michael Amott, and he was throwing some guitar picks, and lucky again, I was able to get one of his guitar picks. Arch Enemy with Michael Amott, which again, for me to get 2 out of 3 guitar picks from, 2 out of 4 guitar picks from the tour, I call that a fucking success. To me, that's probably, as never happened before, whenever somebody go to concert, I'm lucky if I even can get one. But 2 guitar picks, that's a win-win for me. They end the show, of course. The show ended. I went directly straight to their booth to see what I can buy, and I was seeing around, and of course they had this little thing. They had the Arch Enemy Will to Power CD, which the thing about it that shocked me the most is that it was autographed by the entire band. The entire band autographed it. Everybody. Of course, they had it just to sell it, which cost me close to maybe $30, which it was a hefty price. But when is the opportunity you're gonna have the entire Arch Enemy band's a CD signed? I mean, this is my first CDs that I've signed by 1 or 2 members of the band, which I am so happy I picked this up because it was going like pancakes. Because I never thought I was gonna have Arch Enemy actually meet them, which I wish I could have met them. I wish I could have met any of the bands. Even I wish I could have met Nurgle, to be honest. But to have this CD signed by the band, it was worth it. And of course, again, killer tracks from First Day in Hell, Murder Scene, The Giggle Fires Alive, Blood in the Water, and probably it's one of my most prized possessions now because it's actually autographed by the entire band. So I'm never gonna get rid of this. I'm taking this to the fucking grave. I'm just saying that right now. And it was an amazing concert. And of course, after the concert, I straightly went home. We came back around maybe, I want to say 1:30, almost 1:30ish to home, and off to bed. And so again, if you're around anywhere around this tour, I don't know the tour dates. I think right now as I'm recording, they're in Dallas, Texas. So if you're around the Dallas, Texas area, or anywhere near where Behemoth, or with Arch Enemy and Napalm and a bunch of others are touring, and if you've not seen them live, or are thinking of seeing them, please, I seriously recommend y'all to watch them. You will not be disappointed. And that does it for this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I know I've been gone for a while. I know I promised you all the Juice Kiss prank come on, which I will do that hopefully next couple of days. Like I said, I'm still gonna do ranking malls. I'm gonna do a lot of stuff, and of course, and again, thank you guys for being so patient with me. Which I forgot to mention that now we reach 41 subscribers, close to 40 subscribers. Which thank you everybody who subscribed, and liked and commented on the videos. I really appreciate all you guys, and like I said, hope you guys are along for the ride for the amazing stuff I'm gonna bring you, to this channel, and let's see what the future holds. But until then, stay metal.